Happy full moon, everyone. It is psychic medium Josh Simons coming to you with a full moon snapshot. I do these little readings, 3-card tarot readings. I call them the snapshot, just to give us a inclination as to where we're at, what's going on with us, and what's vexing and perplexing us. I'm going to shuffle 5 times and setting the intention that anybody who comes across this video on this wonderful full moon, well, this information and this insight is for you. That's it. That's it. That's for you. So just kind of sit back and enjoy this and ride out the energy of the full moon with me, would you? It's been a little weird today, and not necessarily intense, but it's that kind of energy of like, kind of what's coming around the corner. And I think that it's almost like a static charge in the air that we get whenever the full moon happens. I oftentimes have issues sleeping through the night around the full moon because of the amount of energy that's out there. So let us go ahead and dive right into this snapshot. Remember that these 3 cards are for anybody that could be watching this at all. The first card represents you right now, where you're at in life. Okay, so the 4 of Wands. I use this deck and I really appreciate it because I love the art. And recently, this card came up in the little birthday reading that I did. So I like to think of this card as the birthday card, that celebration. Now, I know a lot of us don't feel like we're worthy of being celebrated. I know a lot of us don't feel like life is worth celebrating. I'm gonna have to ask you to really take a deep, dark look at that. Deep, dark look at that. For instance, moving into the world of spirit, moving into the world of death, that is a sacred journey. As much of this life is a journey, and a wonderful journey at that, so isn't moving into the world of spirit a journey for us to take. Oftentimes, we don't understand that process because, well, we haven't gone through it yet. Or if we have, we don't remember it. But something to consider about moving into the world of spirit. We grieve people who move on from life to death. We grieve our loved ones. It's going to happen. One of the things that we don't often think about is the people that are moving on into the world of spirit, who have passed away and have left their loved ones here, how they grieve us. They grieve us. So with that in mind, understand that no matter how you see this world, whether you're celebrating it or not, you will, at one point in time, as you move into the world of spirit, as you move from life to death, you will grieve the life that you left behind. You will grieve the people that you left behind here. When you know that, when you understand that, that gives you all the reason in the world to celebrate this wonderful life, this wonderful, wonderful life that isn't going to last forever and is a gift in this moment. The next card is what vexes and perplexes us. Okay. Interesting. So we have judgment here. I think judgment in and of itself can vex and perplex us. The fact that we are judged or assessed, if you will, by those folks around us, by our loved ones, by our parents, people that we look up to, people that we don't look up to. They're going to judge us. This can be taken right at face value, but we can talk about this in conjunction. I was just talking about grieving as we pass on into death. That's something that happens to us as spiritual beings. When we move on to the world of spirit, like we see in this card, we don't often think about what that process looks like because we're not hearing from people on the other side. Well, most of us aren't. But this sense of what happens in the world of spirit, I believe that we used to know deeply, as a culture, as a species, used to know in a very primal level what happened. The cycle of death, life, rebirth, all of it happening all at once, all around us. We are also part of that. That not only will we live, we will die, but we will be reborn. Reincarnation and being reborn into this world is a completely different conversation. Yet, the idea of that rebirth, have you thought about what happens when you pass away? I know most of us haven't. Most of us are either terrified of death and the idea of dying, or we completely shut it out, like it's not ever going to happen, and we'll deal with it once it crosses our threshold. Be that as it may, have your attitude about death as you want to, yet it is as sacred to our existence as life. And when we remember that, when we hold on to death in the way that remembering that we're always going to die, that gives every day a deeper clarity, a deeper meaning, deeper substance, deeper definition. The card that heals and reveals is this. Okay. The Ace of Swords. So the aces in tarot, again, are fate and beginnings and gifts. This can be seen as, the blessings of enterprise, or they are just blessings in general. Yet this is one of the most intense aces out there. Swords are not really warm and fuzzy, per se. When you're encountering a sword in real life, they're not going to be warm and fuzzy. They're either going to come at you as a weapon, or you're going to be encountering them as a tool of defense. This card, for me, talks about severing away that which doesn't serve, so something new can be born again. Think about pruning apple trees, pruning fruit trees, anything like that. We have to cut away that which is dead, diseased, or dying to make room for what is new. And I think that we oftentimes forget that as much as we would like to stay in this world, we can't. As much as we would like to stay alive forever, we can't. We have to pass away so this world can have more. And we become part of that great cycle of life, death, and rebirth. But yet, this is that idea of cutting away so something new can grow. Let's just not talk about the space here that we're taking up, because all humans do take up space in this world. But let's talk about what happens when we move on to the next world and we lose this life. Everything that I can see and everything that I can sense from the world of spirit is that it is an absolute blast. When I communicate with spirits, boy, they're having fun. They are partying it up. There's so much delight and wonder and substance in the hereafter, from what I can tell. The only real pain that I can tell people go through in the world of spirit is watching their loved ones here move through pain and turmoil. I am a big believer that if we want our loved ones in spirit to rest in peace, we've got to live in peace. And I think that this is, a good reminder that, one day we will be cut down. One day our lives will be brought short, whether by accident, disease, or what have you. We will move from this world to the next. Remember what a blessing that can be. It can be. It can be. And I think that moving into the world of spirit and remembering that that is part of what we do, that is definitely an act of courageousness. We've got to be courageous to move from here to there. Just in the same way that I think we had to be courageous to move from the world of spirit to the world of the living. Look at how babies scream and yell. It takes an act of courage for them to make it in this world, just to come here. So remember, celebrate your life. One day, you're not going to have it. And in the face of that, what is anybody's judgment at all about you and how you should live your life? Because one day, you will be cut down, as we all will. Remember that you all and we all will pass away. And with that in mind, we're reminded that we can live fully, colorfully, with substance, with depth, with meaning, instead of just pretending that this thing is going to last forever, because it's not. Take care of yourself, and remember, we all must die. So hopefully we all can live.